starting a new chapter from the Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1. This is chapter 13. So today we are going to learn about Dhritarashtra, why he leaves his house. Okay. But before that, we will be doing a very, very interesting story. Now, this story which is there is of a very important person, though the person has not been mentioned in the Mahabharata war that much. So this individual is extremely important for us. So we will be doing something about him. So now let us start the chapter. So we are doing Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 13, Dhritarashtra quits home. Verse 1, Sri Suta Goswami said, while traveling on a pilgrimage, Vidura received knowledge of the destination of the self from the great sage Maitreya and then returned to Hastinapur. He became as well versed with the subject as he desired. Verse 2, after asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Lord Sri Krishna, Vidura retired from putting questions to Maitreya Muni. Okay, so we are going to understand about a very, very important persona over here in the Srimad Bhagavatam. His name is Vidura. Now, who is Vidura? Vidura is the half-brother. Half-brother means not born from the same mother, but born from another mother. Now, his other brothers were, one of them was ruling the kingdom, Dhritarashtra. Other one was Pandu, who never ruled anywhere. Now, who is Vidura? Now, when we look at Vidura, Vidura's role is seemingly very small, very, very tiny from the entire Mahabharata. But he is the most important character over here because Vidura is none other than Yamdev himself. It is Yamdev who has taken the birth because he was cursed by a Muni. What is Yamdev? Yamdev is the one who actually gives the ruling. He is the one who is supposed to look after what you have done as a human being on this planet Earth. And he is very, very just. Now, while being just, he is not only ruling this universe, but many others. No doubt about it. So, as Yamdev, he is so engrossed in the service of the Lord that he doesn't even find time for anything to do in his life for himself or for anybody close to him. And this by itself becomes a very big problem. Like he is serving the Lord 24/7. So the story goes that he is cursed by a Muni. Name is Mandavya, or he is also called by another name, Mundaka Muni. So he has to come to earth so that he can impart spiritual knowledge to everyone. Alright? Now, if you recollect, I had already told you all that even if you are the Almighty himself, even if you are God Almighty, you may be anybody, you have to come to earth when you are born under the ages of Prakriti. Most of the knowledge gets covered up. And you have to meet your spiritual master. It's when you meet your spiritual master that the uncovering starts. If you know about Sri Ram, it's after Vashishta Muni uncovered his knowledge. He is Lord Almighty himself. Parshuram is another avatar who is God himself. Till he did not meet his Gurudev, he was not able to give knowledge to anybody, and he himself had no idea who he is. And he has to meet Dattatreya. Dattatreya gives him the real understanding. The Monday, Tuesday satsang that we are doing is on this subject. Wednesday to Friday we are doing on Srimad Bhagavatam. In a similar manner, Sri Krishna and Balram have to meet their master, Sandipani. In case of Vidura, who is Yamdev himself, he has come to earth and his main job is to give spiritual knowledge to people. So till his own knowledge is not uncovered, he cannot do that job. So he will behave like an ordinary mortal. So here, at the beginning of the war, he has to leave. He has to go away. He goes away in search of the spiritual truth. And he meets Maitreya Muni. So Maitreya Muni is the one who uncovers him, gives him the knowledge. See, when I say give him the knowledge, this by itself is wrong. Nobody can give knowledge to the divine. Please remember this, okay? I have to say it because that's the only way of understanding it. Knowledge is like a light covered with black soot, okay? Or maybe a sun covered by clouds. When the clouds go away, the sun shines by itself. In a similar manner, these are individuals who are God themselves, they are sages themselves. So their uncovering has to happen first. When they are uncovered, the sun which is inside shines, which means the knowledge within shines very bright. So Vidura has to meet this sage. So when he meets Maitreya Muni, he is only able to uncover that whatever the darkness of ignorance is. We always call it the ignorance. So the Guru's job is to uncover this ignorance. You should know this. That is why Guru means what? Somebody who removes the ignorance, the darkness of ignorance. So he removes ignorance and then he makes you an enlightened person. The idea is that. Okay? So Guru's job is only somebody who is going to wash away all your dirt. That's it. And that is what Sandipani did. That is what Vasishtha Muni did. That is what exactly Dattatreya did to Parshuram. Because Parshuram is his own avatar, isn't it? You should know that. It's already mentioned in the scriptures that he is his own avatar. So in a similar manner, Vidura, who is himself the knowledge, I am sure you have read that Upanishad where he gives the knowledge, isn't it? You have definitely understood that. So I am not going to go in that direction because we will stray away from the story. So Vidura, his knowledge is uncovered by this great sage himself, Maitreya Muni, and once he finishes his questioning. See, the enlightened person who doesn't know he is enlightened, he has no idea he is enlightened. There is God within everybody, but nobody knows there is God within every individual. Till you do not understand, because you are having so many layers and layers and layers of ignorance. What is the biggest layer of ignorance? The biggest layer of ignorance is your body itself. You think you are XYZ. You have a name. You have staying in a certain place. You have your father, your mother, your brother, sister, so many things. You start believing in those terminologies. And you start believing in that which is actually unreal. So that is the first thing. The second thing are the senses. The senses are the one which delude you constantly. See, the sense will tell you something very, very peculiar. If I look at one object, I was taking some apples from the store and the oranges. So when I took this apple and the oranges, they looked very beautiful from outside. The orange also looked very luscious. So when I took it and I opened it the first day when I brought it, the orange was totally rotten from inside. And the apple was so hard that I couldn't eat it. And that is what happens. Our senses delude us. We look at a human being thinking that this person looks so good, They are so nice. They talk so nicely. Because we are hearing words. Somebody is praising us, We get carried away by the praises. And we think, oh, this person is praising us. But actually, in reality, you don't know the truth. The person may be just faking it. Have you not seen in politics how people talk? They will say one thing and they will do another thing. Okay? Recent case is that Zelensky person. He was supposed to go and sign some documents and he promised the whole world that he is going to do it. And when he landed up over there, he went and did something completely different. So that is the reason why hearing, our senses delude us. We look at individuals, we hear them, we talk, listen to their speeches, and we understand and we get deluded. Alright? Then the mind, it's the biggest deluder. How is the mind the biggest deluder? The mind will show you completely different story. It will start telling you stories which you never have any idea about. Just because there are some things, happening in the world, your mind is in one direction. You see, when a cricket match is played, isn't your mind working constantly? Yesterday there was a match. Naturally, wasn't that a part of many people's lives? People started thinking about the match. And what is it that you are thinking about? We are only looking at somebody doing some work over there. Maybe somebody is scoring century or somebody is taking wickets and all that. But what is the main thing that is going on over there? It is like how you do your work in the world. You go to work and you earn money. Isn't that what it is? So all these things which are happening in this world, people don't have an understanding. We get carried away by things which are presented to us in a different way. Beyond the cricketing match, there is a huge industry which is into gambling, which is run because of this industry. Like horse racing, sports matches. There is a big industry out there. But who will see the truth? You are only looking at the match. Somebody is watching it on their phone, somebody is watching on their TV, somebody is watching on their computer. We do not have the idea that there is something going on. There is politics in it. So this is what? So the mind is deluded, and the third, your intellect itself is corrupted. How is your intellect corrupted? The corruption of the intellect happens in the manner in which we gather data. Okay? How do we gather data? We are thinking that, okay, here is a chat GPT, here is an artificial intelligence. It is going to help me. And we take the data from there and we try to put that data into the picture. People are doing so many things in that chat GPT. They are playing the markets. You see, not only the stock market, but they are also playing the financial markets, the bitcoins and all those industries also. People are predicting the future. Somebody is going and writing something which has nothing to do with it, some subjects. People are writing fake things over there and they are presenting it as their own. How many people are writing novels and various other things in that AI? And they say, I have written. What have they written? They have only written the prompts over there. The rest of it is created by artificial intelligence. And the mind, remember, the mind and the intellect starts accepting those things. And in your intellect it goes. So this is the reason why our whole thing system is corrupt. I hope you get the point. So, the main job of the guru is to remove this veil of ignorance. Remove first about the body itself. You are not the body. You are not the person that you think you are. You are not the senses also, because senses are going to tease you constantly. They are going to tell you this is good, this is bad, this is right, this is wrong. It is just going to give you pictures after pictures after pictures. You're going to hear things. And by hearing things, people are going to get deluded. I was reading about one person. He is writing about he takes 1 hour to go from one part of Mumbai to another part of Mumbai, and he has to hang in the train. And he showed those things, where he is supposed to catch that thing. He says Bombay has become so crowded. Sir, even in 1960s and 70s and 80s also, I was also doing the same thing. And that time the trains were less. Okay. I have stood like that for 2 hours, 3 hours, just holding on to that with people crushing me literally. So it was there at that time. But the today's generation thinks, oh, today it is like that. Today's generation thinks all the roads are dug up. The roads are so bad. It takes 2 hours to reach. In 70s and 80s, I would start from Bandra and I had to go to Mantralaya, or which is called Nariman Point. It used to take me 2 hours to reach there. Today also it takes 2 hours. And that time the roads were dug up more than today, isn't it? Do you even have an idea? I used to go to work from Andheri station till my office, and the whole road was dug up. And this digging up happens every year on year on year on year on year. I closed down 3 shops because people were digging up everywhere. I don't know why these youngsters today think that only today it is happening. The roads are dug up. Right in front of my shop in Indiranagar, the whole thing was dug up over there. For many years, I had to close down the store. But people don't remember these words. They think that today there is so bad. It is so bad, really? You need to understand. This is called intelligence. The knowledge doesn't seep inside the person. The markets are toppling. Well, they topple every 10 years. Have you not seen that? You can go and ask anybody. You can ask even that person, Warren Buffett of this world. He will also tell you the same thing. This is a cycle. It keeps on happening, keeps on happening, keeps on happening. There are going to be riots in this world. Haven't the riots happened every 10 years? Big riots. They are going to happen. What is the big deal today that you are talking so much about it? In spirituality, this is zero value. Because you accept the world is like that. It is cyclical in nature. Sometimes the world is very high, sometimes the world is very low, sometimes the tide is high, sometimes the tide is low. You don't have control over anything in this world. Why is this person talking like this? Why is that person talking? Well, it's a part of life. Accept it. In the spiritual world, we are not supposed to look at all these things. When you get into spirituality, Maitreya Muni tells Vidura, I have to remove your ignorance. This is ignorance. The world of Maya, everything is enticing you. And then what are you supposed to do? Your job is to ask relevant questions, not nonsensical questions, so that you can progress further. And a time will come when you will stop asking questions because now you are full of knowledge. Then every time when a road is dug up, you are not even going to get upset. Every time when somebody dies, you are not going to get upset. Every time when a child is born, you are not going to be happy. Every time when somebody gets married, you are not even going to be bothered whether it is happiness or sadness. Doesn't that answer your question? You know, there is a sister and a brother. Normally in the family, what happens? The brother may be elderly, but he will say to his father and mother, get my sister married off. So they will get the sister married off. And that happens. Or the elder brother gets married or something like that. And then you say, oh, now my brother has to get married. Brother has to get married. Why? For what reason? No. That is how it is. So all this is a part of life. Spiritual world, we do not care about this kind of things. It is nothing to do with spirituality. The spiritual truth is all this is fake and nonsense. Who cares? Your job is only to be lost in Sri Krishna himself. Why are you bothered about the rest of the things around you? It is by Sri Krishna's grace that my brother is getting married. Not your effort. Oh, you are putting effort so that Krishna, your brother, can get married? Is that what it is? No, I put in so much of effort. I went and spoke to this one. I did this, I did that. So much of expense we had to incur. Oh, it is by grace of Sri Krishna that at least you have that much money. It is by grace of Sri Krishna that maybe you are finding a bride for him. Something like that. Don't keep on thinking, I did. You are only just one tool in the middle. You are a nobody. You are giving so much of importance to the body. Your job is to become like Vidura. Don't give importance to the body. So he learns from sage Maitreya by asking various questions and becoming established in the transcendental loving service of Sri Krishna. When you do service to Krishna, you cannot say I did service. Like you may, like I said, just now you may get your brother married. You can't say I got him married. Who you think you are? I did this. I put in the efforts. I was there for the wedding. I did this. I arranged for the hall. I arranged for this. The greatness of that person will be seen. How much trouble I had to go to get this hall. What are you talking about? Okay, by the way, this story which I am telling you is a part of my... I have seen people do this, okay? So I am just giving you one instance where people came and spoke like this to me. As if they are doing some great service. It's a part of your job. As a parent, it is your duty to look after your kids. You are not doing anybody a favor. That is God's child. Vidura was whose child? He was Vyasadev's son. He was Vyasadev's son. So don't be under this impression that, oh, how can that be? Well, he was cursed that he is going to be born in the lowest of the wombs. You see, today, in our world also, there are lots of big people. They rent out wombs, renting wombs nowadays they do. Yes or no? Somebody doesn't have a child, what will they do? They will go to some roadside lady somewhere, somebody is there. Oh, I want to rent your womb. Like you have rent this and rent that and, like that. So, they rent out a womb, okay? And maybe that man, now that time they may not have artificial insemination. Maybe that fellow has to go and do something to her. Okay? Now, Vyasadev has this relationship. You remember Ambika, Ambalika, the two ladies who are there in the Mahabharata. Now, their servant girl, Parishrama is her name. It is that servant girl and Vyasadev's son. Okay, he is born. It is a long story. We don't have to get into that story. That time also they were doing rent the womb. It was called Niyoga. What was it? Niyoga. Huh? Well, it was done and it was allowed by the scriptures. Our holy scripture said, yes, you can do because you don't have a son. Go. Today we are doing it from the hospitals and all these IVF clinics and stuff like that. And there are lots of people in this world, no, you can't do this. Well, Vidura can be born like this. Why can't Angelina Jolie and all those people in the world have so many children from all these other places? Of course they can have. Got it or no? So it is a part of life. We are not here to think about the right and the wrong. Yes, during the second yuga and the third yuga, it was banned. Somebody must have written a constitution at that time. You can't do this. Well, everybody has a right to write a new constitution, you know. Even in Bangladesh today, what are the people saying? We want a new constitution. Anybody is free to write. So they wrote, oh, you can't do this. We have to accept it. Well, we are living in that yuga, suppose. So in a similar manner, Vidura is born like that, through the act of Niyoga. So then, what is his main job? Only to give knowledge. So now let us see. So now Vidura is coming back to Hastinapur after the war is over. Okay? He was not supposed to be involved. Remember, he is the one who is a judgmental person, isn't it? Upstairs, he is sitting over there, Yamdeva, he is sitting with his, weighing scale like this, maybe. Okay, right, wrong, right, wrong. He is giving all the treatment to people. So he is like that. So he is come down. Now he is over here. And when he is over here, one of Aditi's son is taking care of the heavens over there. Okay. He has become that. Okay, he came to meet me also, you know that. Yesterday's day. Right? I had to say hello to him. Hello dude, how are you, sir? So he met me like Vidura also. What to do? So, when they saw Vidura return to the palace, all the inhabitants, Maharaj Yudhishthir, his younger brother Dhritarashtra, Satyaki, Sanjaya, Kripacharya, Kunti, Gandhari, Draupadi, Subhadra, Uttara, Kripi, all other wives of the Kauravas and other ladies with children all hurried to him with great delight. It so appeared that they had regained their consciousness after a long period. Now everybody is welcoming him. So all these people are a part of that after effects of all the war. The war is over. Everybody is gone. The rest of the people who are there, they are supposed to go and worship him. Because who is he? He's a great sage, right? Now he's become a great sage after meeting Maitreya Muni. You remember he had gone on that Brahman all around the world. That is what you have to do. So, with great delight, they all approached him as if life had returned to their bodies. They exchanged obeisance and welcomed each other with embraces. Verse 6, due to anxieties and long separation, they all cried out in affection. King Yudhishthir then arranged to offer sitting accommodation and a reception. Verse 7, after Vidura ate sumptuously and took sufficient rest, he was comfortably seated. Then the king began to speak to him and all who were present there listened. So naturally now Vidura is being welcomed in the kingdom. Sir, please come. All women, men, everybody is bowing down to him. They are putting garlands to him. They are welcoming him. They are washing his feet and all that. And then Yudhishthir gives him a seat to sit next to him. Say, please, can you sit over here? You are our great uncle, no? Remember, he's your uncle, isn't it? Huh? Chacha, we call it, no? So he is being welcomed over there. Father's brother, right? Isn't it? So he is welcomed over there. And they are all washing his feet. They are all telling him to. And after that, you give him a nice meal. Eating that nice meal, he is sitting over there. Now everybody wants to talk to him. They will say, okay, now we want to hear what you have to say. So Maharaj Yudhishthir is the main person. Others can't speak. When boss speaks, you have to listen. So he is representing the whole race over there. So verse 8 says, Maharaj Yudhishthir said, my uncle, do you remember how you always protected us along with our mother for all sorts of calamities? Your partiality like the wings of the bird saved us from poisoning and arson. I am not going to give you the story of Mahabharata over here, but you have to understand arson, Lakshagraha and all those things. It happened in the Mahabharata. So he was responsible for doing a lot of things in the past. This is before he got that enlightenment thing, okay? So this is because when he was at that time, he was the prime minister of that kingdom. Do you remember prime minister? He was there at that time. Most of you must have seen the Mahabharata. I don't have to tell you the story. You can tell me better. I have not seen it that much. So maybe you will tell me. So he is saying, you are my uncle. You are the great person who has done all this for me. You are actually a person who has saved me many a times. So he says, verse 9, while traveling on the surface of the earth, how did you maintain your livelihood? At which holy places and pilgrimage sites did you render visits? So, this is a very interesting line. When somebody takes sannyasa and somebody goes away, don't you have a question how this person lived and where did he live? The thought comes into your mind, isn't it? Oh, when this person left to become a sannyasi and to search for the self, he must have gone somewhere. He must have lived somewhere. Somebody must have offered him food. Because if I can see him after so many years over here, that means I need to know where he was. Now, this is a very peculiar story which I can tell you. Many a times, I was never asked how I lived, where I stayed, how I ate my food, what I ate my food as, whatever the food that was there, what is it that I ate. Sometimes as tidbits I give you information in my satsangs. I had gone here, I did this, I ate this, I tell you all. How did you travel? What clothes did you take with you? You see, when you go on even 5 days of travel, you will have 2 huge traveling bags. Isn't it? I mean, imagine a man going on a travel may carry 2 pairs of jeans and maybe 5 t-shirts or something like that. I want you to think, what will a woman carry? A lot and lots of clothes and stuff which she will need, isn't it? So many things. Many years ago, there was one article on minimalism. You know, minimalism means what? So in that minimalism, there was one CEO of a company. This CEO opened the bag and showed total 17 number of items in the bag, 17, which included a toothbrush, a toothpaste. You understand what I'm saying, no? All those small items also put together, total 17 items were there in that bag. I don't know whether this video is there online or what, because this story is very, very old. And this CEO did not have a house. It was a rented place. That person would go to that place for bath and all. Always living in the suitcase. Now I want you to think about this. No car, nothing. Use mostly local transportation, whatever is given by the company. The company will give their car somewhere. So this person had nothing. The bank account was also having some amount of money, rest of it was given away to charity. No house, no spouse, no children, nothing. Only the job and place of work. Travel, go to different places, come back. Now I will give you the clincher. The clincher is the secret in the story. This was a woman of 42 years when she was interviewed. And you thought constantly that it was a man. See how people think. Did you understand that your thinking, I never said a man, I said spouse. Do you remember me saying anything like that? I never ever uttered a word. I said person, and you immediately thought it's a man. No. A woman with 17 pairs of things in her bag, which includes her toothbrush, toothpaste, shoes. You understand what I'm talking? And now look at yourself. If you travel to, say for 3 days or 4 days also, 17 items. Only a toothbrush, toothpaste, this thing, that thing, dental floss, falana, dikna will be 17 items. My eye makeup, my face makeup, my this thing, my that thing, my foundation cream, my lipstick, my falana, my dikna. Oh my God. A 42-year-old woman means what? Please understand what I'm talking about. And then look at yourself and be ashamed of it. So how do these people travel? So for me, she is a yogi who has learned to live in this much amount of clothes. And why did she stay in different places? There was no wardrobe. There was nothing in her wardrobe because there was no wardrobe there. It was like a hotel room. So she would go to this place. There was no food there, because most of the food was in her cafeteria or somewhere outside. So basically a person lived in a suitcase. I am not saying you should be doing that. I am just saying there are people in this world who are satisfied with what they have, and there are dissatisfied souls in this world. It will depend on the number of clothes that you carry. I will tell you something yesterday happened. What happened? Okay, I was wearing one t-shirt. Okay. And Rajma said, like I said, I will wear this and come. So she asked me, you must be having something new. I think she went and dug in my cupboard. At the minimum count, there were 20 t-shirts which have not been opened also. And then she tells me, I have ordered 10 more. I don't know what I'm going to do with the t-shirts. She found 2 huge packets of undergarments. Maybe she didn't dig further, otherwise she will find new pants also over there. New shoes over there, which I have not even touched them. I don't need them. Why does a person need so many things? Doesn't need. It's a wastage. We say waste of money. It is wasting money. Sai Baba would live in that kafni. Got it or no? How many new kafnis do you think he had? People will come and give him every time, they will say, oh, that poor fellow, no, he doesn't have any clothes to wear. We will give him clothes. So people will come and give clothes. And Baba will pick it up. Somebody will pick it up and take it away, because Baba doesn't wear more than 2-3 kafnis in his life. That's it. They don't want to. Ramakrishna Paramahansa also will not want to. Ramana Maharishi will not want to. Vidura will not want to. Vidura is not going to carry 25 pieces of luggage. I am going on my, sannyasi yatra. I will take 25 pieces of luggage, maybe one aircraft full. One heroine who was married to one billionaire. She had a 747 full of only clothes and her regular things. She came to India with an entourage from Africa. She had a jumbo jet. You know jumbo jet? 747, olden times. She had a jumbo jet. Her personal clothes were 27 bags. Huge bags. LVMH bags. My whole life I cannot own one LVMH also. Now you will ask me what is that? Louis Vuitton. Okay? Mort Hennessy. Okay, don't bother. So like that. You don't need. But people love to have that. I want this, I want that, I want this, I want that. You will look in the cupboard and say, I don't have any clothes to wear. Do you even know what is sannyasa? Shame on you. Yesterday one very interesting question was asked by Rajma. The question was this. There was one devotee of mine and she asked me this question. Why did you take everything away from her? She lives in a suitcase. Everything she gave up. Everything she gave up. Literally everything. All her clothes, all her saris, everything that she had, washing machine to a vacuum cleaner, to everything she gave up. And she stays with minimal clothes. Sannyasa is like that. When you are in spiritual, you can be a sannyasi. You can meet Krishna once in a while. The question which is going to be asked to Vidura is this. Did you go to Dwarka? There's a question here. See, verse 10. My Lord, devotees like your good self are verily holy places personified. Because you carry Sri Krishna within your heart, you turn all places into places of pilgrimage. My uncle, you must have visited Dwarka. In that holy place are our friends and well-wishers, the descendants of Yadu, who are always wrapped in the service of Lord Krishna. You might have seen them or heard about them. Are they all living happily in their abodes? See, the verse itself will explain to you. You don't need to stay with Sri Krishna because Sri Krishna stays in your heart. You can go to Mathura or Vrindavan or even Dwarka once in a while if you want to meet him. You don't have to go there constantly. You don't have to be in his company 24/7. Because Krishna lives in the heart. He doesn't live in a person. So the question asked by Yudhishthir to Vidura is this. Tell me, great sage, where all did you go? What did you do? How was your journey? Whom did you meet? How did things happen? Were you able to meet Krishna? Did you meet Krishna's devotees over there? What did all those women over there and the men over there say to you? Did they exchange stories with you? Can you imagine? These are the questions you have to ask. After you met him, what happened? Did you pray to him? Did you touch his feet? How was that meeting? Was it joyous? Did you cry? See, these are the questions which a person is supposed to ask. People will ask, what did you eat? Did you eat that matri over there? You went to Agra also, no? Did you eat Agra ka petha? Oh, you went to Balaji's temple. Did you eat the laddu? Instead of asking, did you meet Balaji over there, you are asking, did you eat laddu? How strange is that phenomena? Our people who are so much engrossed in the material worldly realm of theirs, they don't even have the decency to find out about the love for God. They will tell how much trouble they had, Some of these idiots in this world, they will say, do you know, I went to Tirupati, it was such a, this thing, I had to book the tickets beforehand, I paid for this, and then I went over there, the train was late, and this thing happened, and that thing happened, how difficult it was, it is so hot over there, I did not get the room, and when I got the room also, the room was having all the cockroaches, this, that, oh my God. And then when you meet the God, I was standing in the queue for 4 hours. I was standing in the queue for 4 hours. It was such a rush. Darshan, yeah, I had for 10 seconds and then I came out. That is what you went for? And you are talking about all these things? What are you doing? Ask about the love for God. What was your feeling when you were going to meet Him? When you are meeting your beloved, when you are meeting your girlfriend or your boyfriend, what does the heart say? It goes bump, 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 bump all the time. You are thinking constantly, what will I give my girlfriend today? I want to give her something very nice. Isn't it? For your girlfriend you are thinking, but for meeting Balaji or Sri Krishna or whoever, you are thinking, how much of pain I had to go to that place. You are thinking like that. But when you are meeting your beloved, did you think like that? When you went and spent, for one rose you will spend $10. One rose. But when you go to the temple, can you buy the cheapest of the flowers on the roadside and give, and on top of it you will turn around and say, that har was so costly, 100 rupees I had to pay. 100 rupees is $1, boss. $1.10. And for your girlfriend you took one rose, which is $10. You took a chocolate which will cost you 50. But for that poor God who is standing over there in Balaji for eons, you are taking one small har. Shame on you. Is that called devotion? You are talking about all the painful journey. When you go to meet your lover, you don't say about the painful journey. Your heart is pumping. So that is what Yudhishthir is asking. How did you feel when you were to meet all these people? So the questions which I gave you in the beginning are these. Tell me about that beautiful journey that you had. You have got the point or no? Devotion is like that. It is beautiful. It is better than meeting your girlfriends and boyfriends. It is better than even offering them one stupid rose, It is better than offering all those, Valentine chocolates and all that. No. The love for Krishna has to be greater than all this. And have you ever done this? You will be ashamed of yourself because this you have never done. You have done all other things which you are not supposed to do. But for your own marriage, for your own husband, for your own wife, for your children, you are going out of the way to do whatever that is necessary. But this is that Lord who is giving you all these things. How much are you devoted to Him? So always remember this. So he says, you have to first understand how did you maintain your livelihood? How did you travel? Which holy places and pilgrimages did you visit? What kind of service did you render over there? Which holy personalities did you meet? And anyway, Sri Krishna is in your heart, no doubt about it. And when you went to Dwarka, what happened over there? So we have come to the end of verse 11. We will stop over here. Tomorrow we will do verse 12 onwards.
Recording stopped.